Stephen A., take it or leave it. Tomlin should be the Redskins' top choice.
Well, I'll take it from the Redskins angle, but I also applaud Mike Tomlin, for just knocking that all to the wayside. He's the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's got different priorities. But if I'm Daniel Snyder, I'm hoping that the Pittsburgh Steelers will be stupid enough to let go of one of the great coaches in this game so I can get my hands on a damn good coach, a great coach that I can actually hand football operations to. Mike Tomlin isn't the one making the decisions. He's the head coach. Kevin Colbert and those boys are making decisions. I'd like to see Mike Tomlin in a position where he has more power, not just as a head coach, but decision-making power as it pertains to that roster and that organization. And I think that if he were available, Daniel Snyder should give it to him.
Yeah, I would take it from Washington's point of view. I would leave it from Tomlin's point of view. And I'm not going to pretend I know what it is to be an African-American head coach because you think, well, look, if I have an opportunity to run a team, those opportunities don't come along very often for anyone, let alone an African-American head coach. Nevertheless, I would have to believe that based on his work, his record, where he's never been less than 500 in his career and is a Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin can wait for something better than a very bad job for a very bad franchise.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, as you mentioned, he's never been below 500. They've been very good. He's picked up Super Bowl wins, in part because he was a part of a stable organization, maybe one of the most stable in the history of professional football. So going from that, going to Washington would be a problem. But it is kind of curious, the names that are popping up for this bad job. All the names that are popping up are black coaches, which is Todd Bowles' name is floated. Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator at Kansas City, is another one that's floated. It's kind of frustrating sometimes. While I certainly encourage black coaches or want black coaches to get opportunities, it's frustrating, and it seems like sometimes it is just the worst possible opportunity, and this seems like a bad case. And I'm not even sure I would buy it from the Redskins' point of view, because they need to kind of clean house. And bringing someone like Mike Tomlin who can only handle the football operations, I'm not sure that's a solution, because the problem isn't necessarily the football operations. While that hasn't been great, the problem is everything in that building. They had 40 employees quit before the season started because they cited bad culture. So it's the problem is they need an entire overhaul.
Employees?
Hold on.
I believe it was 40 employees.
First of all, Mike Tomlin can positively influence any culture. And to answer that previous point, the nation's capital is known by many as Chocolate City. And I mean that very complimentary. If anybody should know that, okay, it is you, sir.
It is you, Dominic. It is the chocolate city. It is getting less and less chocolate every day. It's becoming quite gentrified. So I'm not sure that being in the chocolate city matters whether their coach is black or not. I'm sure it can't hurt.
Why.
Guys,
yeah, go ahead.
This is a quick, rapid segment.
Next
up, take it or leave it. It's time to panic in Dallas after 2 straight losses. Again, this is quick. Take it or leave it. Dominique?
No, it's not time to panic in Dallas. They're a very talented bunch. Their losses were not they didn't get blown out necessarily. I saw that last game. It was close. It could have been a one-score game if they wouldn't have had that penalty and missed the field goal at the end, and they had some success throughout that game. I think overreacting at this point to a team that's very talented and looked awesome, granted, against not very good teams, but looked awesome in the first three weeks would be unnecessary.
I would take it. How much fun would it be if Dallas started to panic this early in the season? Take it.
Stephen A.?
I'm leaving it. No need to panic.
Okay. Take it or leave it. The Panthers' offense is better without Cam. Stephen A.
Take it right now. When he gets 100%, call me. Until then, take it.
I'm leaving it. Yes, right. Of course, listen, if he can't get on the field because he's hurt, naturally, but that's not really what we're asking. The question, you can infer from the question that you mean if Cam Newton is healthy, is it better without him? And the answer is no, I'm leaving it.
Yeah, absolutely. You leave that. A healthy Cam Newton is much better than Kyle Allen. Simply put.
Not an unhealthy Cam who was playing. That's what I'm saying.
Max, take it or leave it. Deshaun Watson is an elite NFL quarterback. And when I mean elite, I mean first tier.
By the way, take it. Incidentally, we're talking about African-American head coaches. You know the top 4 QBRs in the NFL?
All black.
Interesting.
I mean, we definitely take it. He saved Bill O'Brien's job. Like, we would have a different staff there if they didn't get lucky enough to pick up Deshaun Watson when he was there in that draft. He is fantastic. He's escalated this team that's had a pretty bad offensive line. Granted, they've had some good defenses along the way, but he's taken them to another level, and he is certainly elite. He's consistently good and has the ability to go to another level and be one of the best quarterbacks in the league on any given Sunday.
Stephen A?
Take it. And when I think about Deshaun Watson, other than the fact that he's spectacular, I think about two things. Number one, we'd be talking about him a hell of a lot more if it were not for Patrick Mahomes. And two, the Chicago Bears, with that defense that they have to be sick to their stomach that not only could they have had Mahomes, but Deshaun Watson as well. And they passed up on both to take Mitchell Trubisky.
Traded up. You could have traded down and gotten those guys.
Stephen A, Colts should be the favorites in the AFC South. Take it or leave it.
No, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to go with Houston.
Yeah, I think you're right. Houston's better, but the Colts have certainly impressed. I was disappointed in Jacksonville up until this point, but the Colts have impressed everybody so far.
I'm going to leave it. You know, like, I know it's a big thing to say only the quarterback, because Deshaun Watson gives you a premium over Brissett, but Brissett's pretty good, and the Colts top to bottom, I think, are a better team.
And to get back from injuries soon, too, including Darius Leonard, I really like the Colts.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.